Hey, it's the Chief Bonding with board games and RPGs. We're going to continue to click around the clock. So we just did an episode 25 with Krieg and him going outside the wire. We're sliding over to the east, which was Pachecko, and he's up on a 50. Don't forget, he just shot down when one of these suicide cars was coming in. Completely obliterated that just a little bit prior to what's happening now. He's got the three orphans with him. Casimir, 16, Eddick, who's 12, and Alec, who's 10. Yeah, Eddick and Alec. I know. They're close. They are with him, and he's he's basically like it's not like the dad, it's more like the elder brother. And he's become, or like the uncle, father figure kind of thing. They're attached. The world is harsh and mean. So is Pachecko. But these kids aren't stray to that. So they're armed, including the 10-year-old. So we did have, just to set that side, the group that was attacking that area did manage to get 20 militia and 5 Bartek sucked up against the wall. That's quite a lot, actually. So again, they've lost 5 of their Bartek marauders, and they've lost 20 of their militia. So they've taken about exactly half their losses, but they're up against the wall. They don't have a breach. And now that they've seen the flare go up, what the militia troops were supposed to do per Bartek's plan is to disperse and either cause problems along their wall, or just to get inside the wall in that area and cause problems. They're supposed to lock down the troops on that section so that other troops can't leave different sections to go defend wherever the breach is. Perfect doctrine. So knowing that, I would imagine these 25 folks that are still there, when they saw this car coming, the suicide vehicle, they probably had to be a little nervous, first of all, because you know what that is. And then it blows up before it even gets close to you, and you're thinking, dang, this isn't going the way it's supposed to go. So I know these 20 militia and 5 Bartek are supposed to be causing problems and locking down the U.S. troops and the Pimjims on this side. What are they doing? I want to know. So I'm going to treat it kind of like a random event, because I don't know what they're doing. So we're going to go with, off the table, what do we got? 84. 84 is care. Okay, not what I thought it would be. And 55, don't have to worry about doubles when I'm doing this. Suffering. Ooh. Care. So are they caring for the suffering? That sure seems like what that would be. It doesn't seem like it would further their mission much, but that's the logical thing I can see at this point in time. Interesting. They're caring for a bunch of their wounded. They've lost half their group. I picture them bandaging folks along the side, again, up against the wall. You can't really see over into that dead space without totally exposing your head. And what I picture happening, yes, this is it. There's some of them going out and grabbing wounded, which are in view, and pulling them back under cover. Yeah, that's what that means. And the response with Pachecko and these kids is going to be a brutal one. Pachecko is teaching them how to engage targets in real time. And I think he's got them not on the 50, but I'm imagining with the car bomb that went off, we've got a little bit of light. Even though that was further down south on the road, there's probably a little bit of light And your eyes, even at night, you can pick up targets, or Pachecko's using his night vision. Okay, so there's a question. Is he using his night vision, or is he letting them wear it and almost use it like target? I can't see him doing that. You'd want to stay on your night gear, on your 50, and handle problems. But, all right, let's stay with this. He's brutal. He's not that he's evil, but these are evil times. I think he starts by putting Casimir. Let's just go with this. He's going to put Casimir on the 50. He's going to put the nods on Casimir, and he's teaching him how to get used to the gear. And he tells him, it's a butterfly trigger. Basically, you're holding the grips and you push down with your thumbs, and it's a pretty slow rate of fire on a 50. So Casimir's using the 50. He's got the nods on, and Pachecko is training in real time, in combat, on what to do. So the question is, I'm picturing these militia going out to gather up the troops that are wounded, which Pachecko has told Casimir, we're using the nods. Look at these guys that are wounded. Don't shoot them, because we're going to use them to maybe draw their own people out, to gather them, and then we can take those guys down when they go to rescue their people. And you're just as good off leaving another wounded person out there than killing them all, because it's gonna demoralize them to know they have wounded they either can't get to, or they're going to try to get to them. Wow, that is brutal. Yeah, that is brutal. But that is exactly what he's doing, and he's teaching Casimir at this point how to do this. So I think I want to know, first of all, we haven't used the deck of cards in a while. I like the cards. I want to see how well is Casimir taking to this. Now, he is 16. This is fighting age, especially with what's going on. 16-year-olds probably prime fighting age. But mentally, how's he responding to this? I would assume life hasn't been great, and that he hasn't, it's not been all peaceful. But this is a level of brutality that he may not be ready for. So a 2 would mean he's struggling with it mightily. An ace, taking to it like a dog to water. It's a duck to water. A dog. What is it? A 7. No, literally right down the middle. So I think he's just doing fine. So the question is, what is his skills? I don't think they're going to be very good. We're going to call this the first shot. And I think what he's told him is we're going to do 2 6s. What was the rate of fire? I'm telling you, on a 50 is actually pretty darn slow. But let's take a look. There is a 50 in here. Rate of fire is 4. Okay, sounds about right. And we're going to do, he's got plenty of ammo. We don't even need to track ammo. We're doing him as 2 6s. He's getting instruction, but he's never done this before. And we'll see how he takes a shot at somebody going out to help the wounded. Oh, he's got a hit. We got a 6 and a 3. And then we've got 5, 2, 3, 4. So no additional hits. But it doesn't matter. All we're rolling for hits on here is because he's got belt-fed machine gun. And a 50 against personnel it's a hit of 4 with a critical 4. Immediately critical. So he's just pump, 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 and takes out another Niznosian. So let's give him, I'm going to just tick mark his hits here, and we're going to move him from 20 down to 19. We're going to assume the Bartek dudes aren't running out there. I think the Niznosians militia would go out for their people. I want to know, we're going to roll and see how many times do people come out to try to rescue others before they stop? I'm going to go with 50-50, which is, again, a 75% for yes. And we're going to roll down this until he finally gets a no. We'll see how long that goes. 29. So another one comes out. It could be someone different or the same exact area. And with his nods, he picks up another one. This one, we do not have a hit, nor do we have a suppress at all, which is interesting. So he's missed. So we've got a wounded guy that's recovered and brought back in. Now, again, it doesn't mean he's necessarily wounded by this 50. Could have been somewhere else. I think how I'm going to treat this, just so they get a little bit of a benefit, is, maybe the wounded guy's shot in the arm or something, but now he's bandaged up. We're going to move them back up to 20. They'll go down as they lose folks and up as other people are rescued and brought in. So, again, we're rolling 75% chance. Ooh, we got the 81. So after that, there must have been probably one of the Bartek guys that says, hey, quit going back out there. You're going to get wasted. And I think Casimir stays on the nods at this point in time. I'm going to go with another event, action, and subject to see what they do now. 47. Travel, I like this. Sounds like they're going to move down the wall a little bit, and they're not in a good spot. Travel 12. Travel 12, opposition. Perfect. That's exactly what they're doing. So the Bartek crew kind of get a hold of their people, say, quit going out into no man's land and pulling these people back. All you're doing is making a target of yourself. We're going to start pushing both, since they're on that east wall, they're going to both kind of push north and south, looking for maybe weak spots, blind spots, breaks in the wall, areas where it's quiet that maybe they can even boost someone up and get them over the top. I like that, which tells me they're going to cut in half. Let's just have 12 work north. And that's going to be 2 of the Bartek and 10 of the militia. And then we're going to have 13 work south. And again, that's 3 of the Bartek and then 10 of the militia. Of course, we have a wounded fella in there as well. That's fine. Now, the question is, so you got 2 groups. They've spread and they're working that area. What would they do in this? What would they do as they work the area? They're going to listen, and then they'll toss grenades if they hear something. Very good in the dark, because by shooting, you actually expose both the sound where it came from and the muzzle flash. A grenade in the dark, nobody really knows where in the heck it came from. So I want to know, yes or no, does the group moving north pick up noise? We do have the Humvee with the 50 that's closer up towards the kind of all the way up north and east there. Would they go up that far? Well, I think if they hear something, it does mean they've gone that far. If they haven't, then they haven't. So 50-50 on a chaos of 7. Does the group moving north hear something? Whoa, 100. That's an extreme no. Extreme no. Not only do they not hear anything, as they work further north, they realize, hey, we can kind of see off in the distance because of all this Willie Pete that's been fired off and the smoke and the light. You can see the silhouette of the Humvee mounted up further north. And they're cautious because they know there's going to be potential to get lit up from that point. And they decide, we're not going there. We are going to, they're going to try to infiltrate. Just literally 2 people boosting somebody over the wall right there. That's the extreme yes. They're not going north, and there's a little bit of a dark area. So the question is this picked up by that 50 or even Casimir, who's sitting further south of there? I like that. So And I believe they're going to be throwing multiple people over and then probably leaning down and trying to pull the last 2 people up. So I'm going to do 3 card checks. The first one is the very first head to pop up over that wall somehow spotted? And again, anything on the lower side, 7 or below, I'm going to do as a no, but maybe some suspicion if it's around 7, and then if it's on the other side, we got a 7. So this is, again, dead set middle. And so I think it has drawn, maybe noise-wise or something, there's some drawn attention over there. And Casimir, with his kind of newness, does he pick up, let's just say with his 6s, does he pick up the movement with his nods? It's a 7, dead center. Let's see. We got a 3 and a 5, so no successes. No, he does not. We're going to stay with this. We're now half of their group, so we've got 6 of them on the other side in the compound already. And we're at the mid-level. Does Casimir, who's drawn to that area, finally spot something, and is he able to light it up? Again, in this case, we want to get like a high card if he spots something. 5. No, he does not. So now we're down to literally just some guys on the wall that are reaching down to pull the last 2 of these guys that have been boosting people up. And are they spotted and engaged by Casimir? This could be a problem where, let's not even do a card roll for that. Let's see. He's watching. I want him to do another die roll. He's heard something over there. He's not seeing anything. This would be one occasion where they're kind of having to linger on top of the wall to pull these guys up. A lot of noise. Does he see something? 4-3. He does not. So what we've gathered here is these 12, let me make a note, have infiltrated. So now we got to work south. Same rule. We got 13 working south. And as you get further south, we have the 105 howitzer and yet another Humvee up on a mound. And so the same question will go. Do they hear anything as they're working along? If they hear something, I'm going to first assume they have gotten to the area where this Humvee is. If they haven't heard anything, maybe they've found a place where they can come through. 86, they have not heard anything. Wow. Okay, we're going to be consistent. This still puts them north of the other Humvee. That's right before the road that leads to where the 105 is. But again, you have Casimir, who has probably, he was looking at these wounded and maybe missing focus on this breach that's going on to his north. Is he any better on the breach down to the south? But does he have divided attention because he was hearing stuff? Or did he not see the other group because he was watching this one, or maybe firing at them? I don't know. A king. All right, that tells me that yes, the reason he didn't see these other guys breaching is because he was drawn to this. Kind of weird how that worked out. Fast and loose, fast and loose. He's drawn to this. He sees something on a king. The very first head that pops up comes up a little high on the wall, and he engages that. He swings the 50 to the south and immediately engages that area with his 50. Let's see what he gets. Boy, he is not a good shot, but we do have a suppression. So we have a 5-3 and then just a 1. So do we push it? You know what? I'm going to go ahead and push it because I could see Casimir panicking a little bit and maybe even jamming by holding a little long. So we don't roll the 6 or the 1, but we re-roll our 6s that missed and these other ammo die. Now, if we get another 1, it's going to be a jam on the gun. That came off the table. Wow, still no hits. 5, 2, 3, 3, 2. So we have suppression. I picture he's swung to the south, butterfly triggers, pop, 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 and he's hitting the wall right there. And the guy, does he fall in or fall out? Fall in or fall out? So again, ace, or as long as it's above a 7, I think he's fallen in. Yes. So on this one, oddly, we have only one, and it's going to be one of the militia. One militia infiltrate. And that means we're going to have 12 that move further south. They don't know if that guy got killed or what. As they're moving further south, the question is, they get to the road. Yeah, I think they're going to look at moving up that road. Now, little do they know, there's 105 howitzer right there. So the first question is, when they get to that road, do they decide they're just going to follow the road? The way I've got it set up here, there's nobody right up on the front gate. So, 44. First of all, that's going to be a random event. So we're going to deal with this random event in a second. But yes, they're going to move up the road. And I want to know, what is the random event? So the random event, I should have been using the event focus table. I'll use it now. 77 is an ambiguous event. So that can mean just something even kind of minor. I don't know what it means. Okay, what is it? 32, a delay. Okay, delay 16, delay love. Okay, an ambiguous event. So let's just do something quirky. It doesn't always have to be big and momentous. I think you've got, I think you have one of the Niznosians. We know they're a mix of male and female. The one that went over the wall earlier was their love. And they're, without caution, they literally, this woman just starts running up the road. So this is the ambiguous event. She is by herself, and would she run up the road or tuck? No, she wouldn't run all the way up the road. She would turn and tuck and try to head back. The problem is she's moving back along the wall, and there is a Humvee between her and where her love went over the wall. I think the simple question is does the Humvee between her and her love see her? Yes, they do. And do they, let's do cards. Do they capture her or just fire on her? Capture. Do they capture her? Just plain out. She's running thinking her love of her life is wounded up there and she's trying to get to him. Again, 7 or above and it's a capture. 5, they do not. I think that means they fire on her, and the military guy on this is much better, and he's got a couple 12s. So they hear noise and tree breaking, and the 50 kind of rotates around and is down and is like, what is this? And sees a female Niznosian that seems to have no care at all for her well-being. Ooh, we've got a 10, and then one miss in here with the ammo, but that 10 is 2 hits. He doesn't know if there's more than that behind her, or is she wearing a suicide pack, and he just boom, and she is gone. Wow, that is a serious delayed love. So with the female breaking off north along the fence line, and then later they hear some gunfire, do the rest of these Niznosians push their way down this road, unbeknownst to them, headed right toward a 105. Again, we're going to stay 50-50. 23, they do. Do they see, do the Niznosians see the 105? If they don't, the 105 is going to light them up. If they get an 8 or above, they've seen it, and it's going to be how well have they seen it. Ooh, Queen. I see these 11 Niznosians moving up slowly, kind of along the border. And sure enough, they call, one of the bar techs calls a halt, and they can see the 105's barrel literally pointing down the road in their direction. So the question, which I don't know the answer to, is, are they going to attack it? I think they would fall back, but maybe not. They're designed to cause problems. So are they going to attack it? 50-50, 75 with a chaos of 7. Ooh, 94. That's not a strong. They need a 96, but no, they are not going to attack it. Wise move. That would have been suicidal. So I'm looking at the map. There's this area that is interesting because it looks like it's walled off and belongs to this church that's not part of the compound. It's kind of attached, but it's walled off. So the question is, if they're not going to attack this 105, which is probably bright. So I think when they see this 105 and then it seems really, really ready, instead of heading that way, they decide they need to work back north, which puts them moving right toward Pachecko and the kids. Now, looking closer at my map, the gal that was love delayed permanently was fired on by Casimir, and that was Casimir that took her out. Casimir's on the gun. Let's move back to Pachecko at this point, because I think the second that happened, no, I know the second that happened, Pachecko is like, ooh, we've got guys in the wire, basically, gals in the wire. Does he leave Casimir on the 50? He's doing okay. I think he does. Yeah, he's going to leave Casimir on the 50 and tells him, man, he just kind of whispers to him, keep a very close eye south. That's not good. I think they're coming off the road. He gathers up Eddick and Ellick and moves them to a position where they can use the armored Humvee as cover and shoot over the hood. And they're focused on that threat area. Basically, that gal ended up telegraphing this other group of 11 that are going to be headed their way shortly. Now, we didn't know that until they decided they didn't want to go up the road toward the 105. But we're getting ready to have some action. Now, I think for Eddick and Ellick, I'm going to use, again, 6s, but they're not well trained at all. So when they roll, they'll only be rolling 1 6. So Casimir's got his nods on. He's watching that area. We know this group is headed up toward their location. Boy, could you hear them? I don't think you could. With all this 50 fire going on, I don't know if they would be hearing them moving. So the question is, we know the group saw the 105. Are they going to, meaning the Bartek group, are they also going to spot the Humvee? I think Casimir with his night vision actually has the advantage on that. So let's roll for Casimir. It's basically a recon roll with no modifiers because of his night vision. He is paying attention in that area. I think that's factored in. He's got on the night vision, so there's no minus to this recon. There's no pushing a recon roll. Does he see them as they're coming? 5 and a 2. He does not see them as they're coming. Does Pachecko, he doesn't have his nods, so does he see them coming? He does. He got an 8 and a 3. That makes sense. I know. Pachecko sees them. And the first thing he does is with his non-shooting hand, he's able to reach up and tap Casimir. Whether or not that's going to, I think Casimir will get to fire once Pachecko does. I think Pachecko then leans in and tells the kids, just shoot when I shoot. Pachecko's just looking for a volume of fire at this point in time. So we're going to give him a big bonus on suppression. We'll figure that out in a second. The question is, when he fires into this group, you can see this group is moving. And how much damage is done? I think this is better done by a card than a die roll. He's spotted him. When he opens up, Casimir is going to open up. The kids are going to open up. I think this could be devastating. At the very least, you're going to have a lot of suppression. But same thing. Aces are going to be, we'll figure out, like heavy casualties. 2, all it is going to be suppression. 9. So he's above it. I think right off the bat, let's just say he takes out 3 of these guys. 8 to the south that are coming in. And with the 50 opening up on that and the kids, Alec and Edic, just firing in, you're going to have those 8 either going to ground or backing out of that area. They're having a real hard time pushing. But again, their goal is not necessarily full infiltration. It's to keep these units on the east side tied down. They're doing that. I think that's good. We're going to leave these guys right there. Got 8 down there. There's 12 that are way up further north. That's a heavily wooded area. Not a lot going on there, but these are infiltration here and here, and definitely keeping these units pinned down. There's nobody leaving from this section to go help on the west, and the west is going to be a problem. Don't forget, we got those buses rolling up over there. And so I'm imagining an overrun situation, but I'm saying this alone is going to prevent the guys on the east wall from assisting. All right, we're going to shut that episode down right there. The very next episode, we will move into Sanchez, who's in the south. And there's actually quite a lot of troops down in the south to deal with. So things are starting to collapse in, except for old Cannon Krieg. That actually popped out. Whew! All right, don't forget, if you're liking this show RPG style, or at least this segment, subscribe, like, do leave me comments on it. You can even say, hey, we didn't like how this rolled, or hey, that was really interesting. That helps me figure out what's working and what is not working. On that note, see you guys later, and I'll be back with the Sanchez episode next week. See ya. Bye.